Looking forward, for me, following on the theme of the change that we've seen already, it's now the rise of the really inexpensive smartphone. So these days, the cheapest Android smartphone that you can get that's a decent phone is about $30 to $40. And that's come down a lot in recent years, and it's going to come down even more in the next few years. And what this means is that all across the world, in the developing world, hundreds of millions of people, billions of people are going to be coming online much sooner than most people anticipated. In the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see massive uptake of the internet across places where people have traditionally had very, very little access to information. One of the things that's interesting about this is a lot of times when people are thinking about mobile in the developing world, you can see news stories even today, some things like people reporting malaria outbreaks, or people texting across town to find out a better price for their crops so the middleman doesn't cheat them and that sort of thing. And all the things those are true enough, but I think when you're focused on those kinds of examples which are so alien to our experience, you're missing something really important that's going on, which is with a smartphone, people have real access to the real internet. They're coming online, they're doing all the same kinds of things that we do online. They're getting on Facebook, Twitter, Wikipedia, they're looking at local news sites. It's basically a real sea change in people's access to information right in their pockets. And that's going to have an enormous set of repercussions for development, for politics, for poverty. It's going to cause positive changes towards democracy, and those changes aren't always going to come without huge costs in terms of disruption, lives cost, et cetera, et cetera. But I think there's good reason to be fairly optimistic that in at least 15 to 20 years, the access to the internet will be as ubiquitous as access to radio today, which means that we're going to have a fundamentally different world for the poorest people in the world. And I think that's really important.